In this video, we're going to try our hand at hydro dipping. So sit back and let's see if this works. So yeah, we're gonna do something a little bit different this time. Instead of working on equipment, we're gonna try our hand at hydro dipping. So I shot myself a buck here during gun season, and I've always liked the way hydro dipping looks. So I want to give it a whirl. So for those of you that don't know what hydro dipping is, it's basically you have a tank of water or bin of water. You spray paint on the top surface of the water, and then you slowly dip the skull or anything you want to paint into the in through the paint, and then pull it out quickly, and the paint stays on. And it makes kind of like weird patterns on there. So I'm going to try that out with this deer head. So you can see I've already boiled the deer head, gotten all the meat off, let it sit for a couple weeks, and I spray painted it with a white primer. Gave it a couple good coats, so I have a nice white matte primer on there, so the paint should have something good to stick to. So I chose to use a hammered black and copper as the colors, and it's going to be kind of a mishmash of colors on there. I mean, there's dozens of videos on YouTube of people doing this, so I've always wanted to try it myself, so I figured I'd try it out for you guys, and we'll show you how this works. So I'll show you my setup over here. So basically I have a bin that I put a garbage bag in and filled it with water. Hard to tell in the picture there. You see we're filled up the water near the top. I've seen people do it this way, and they recommend you do that because it makes cleanup a lot easier. You could just put the water in the open bin and then spray the spray paint in there, but then you're gonna have a painty mess in there. So unless you're gonna use that bin just for that purpose, I guess I wouldn't recommend that. I'd try it this way. That way we can salvage the bin after we're done. So basically, I'm gonna shake up the spray paint, and then I'm going to spray layers inside the center here. So you spray right in the middle, straight down, spray for a few seconds, do the other color, spray, do the other color, spray, and alternate back and forth. And then once you got it as much in there as you want, then you go ahead and you take a piece of wood or something and you kind of make some patterns in there. I'll show you how that all works as we're going through here. So that's basically it, and then you dip your skull in there. So let me get myself set up here, and I'll walk you through the whole process as I'm doing it. So stay tuned. Alright, so let's give this a shot. So like I mentioned, I'm going to layer it up with my two things of spray paint here. So I did a good job of shaking these up. So we'll start with the black, and you're just supposed to spray in the middle for 5-10 seconds. We'll go with the copper. And we'll just keep alternating back and forth until we get a good amount of paint in there. So now, sometimes they say less is more. That's not the case here. You want a good amount in there. Ooh, getting a little fumey in here. Do one more with the copper. Alright, so now what you're supposed to do is take a piece of wood and just kind of gently, you can see we got a film forming on there. Oh boy, I don't know if this is going to work right or not. We'll see though. Just to kind of get it all mixed in there like that, and kind of like random patterns. Oh wow. Okay, so we got our random patterns. Now we're going to take our deer head. Got the antlers protected, and you want to come in at an angle about like this, about a 45-degree angle, and start with the nose and go real slow. And as it's going in, start angling it forward. Just take your time, let that paint stick, and get it all the way down so that the skull is all the way under. Okay, now's the tricky part. Now you have to take that paddle and push all the paint away from the deer head so that your pattern sticks. And don't let the deer hit the bottom either when it's down there, okay? Make sure you get all that away, and then you pull it up. All right, so let's take a close-up here. Looks like it turned out pretty good. I kind of like that pattern that showed up on there. You can see some of it didn't stick. Up there you can see white patches over there and like inside over here. But we'll see how that looks once it's finished, and you know, that might actually be okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let this hang here and dry overnight, and then we'll come back and look at it in the morning and see how it looks. So I'll bring you back in the morning. Stay tuned. Alright guys, here we are the next night. I have actually unwrapped it, and let's take a look at the final result. Came out pretty good, I think. Did what I wanted it to, whereas the color didn't really leach up onto the antlers there. It stayed underneath. So again, I did a really good job taking electrical tape and putting it around here, making a good tight seal. So when you can see here, the paint went right up to the bottom edge of where the antler attaches there, so that was good. But yeah, here's our result. So it's got kind of almost like a melted ice cream with chocolate syrup look to it. I dig it. Show you the bottom side here. Yeah, you can see there are some patches where, you know, there's some white left over, but I don't know, I guess in my opinion it adds a little bit of character to it, makes it look kind of cool. But others may not like that, but hey, not bad for my first time trying it. So there you go. So I do have a plaque on order that'll be here in a while, but you guys probably don't need to see that. So yeah, that's the end result. Pretty easy to do. I would recommend it if you like this sort of thing. Obviously, you can use any sort of color combinations you can. I just used, like I said, Rust-Oleum in a rattle can, and I used a hammered Rust-Oleum, but you know, normal colors work too. I've seen all kinds of different color combinations, but just take your time and do it this way. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and until then, signing off.